but it's a class action lawsuit against all machines and that they're defective devices.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes.
Retweet. That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take a position.
I went in yesterday and there was a television screen, and I said, "This is genius."
My opinion is never too much. Little double sound neck.
The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right? And then they have cans of soup. Soup. and they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. Dumb. So dumb.
Trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
Force the vote, sure, was a failure. Force the vote, sure, was a failure.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic installation. You sent me a message on Patreon? Oh, no. Oh. I didn't even get an email for this. This is bullshit. This is goddamn BS. I gotta sign into my fucking... This is goddamn. Oh shit, I've got a couple messages in here. How come I haven't been getting these emails? Hello, users. I apologize. If you sent me a message on Patreon and I didn't respond, I apologize. For some reason, I didn't get the email, so that's weird. So my bad. Let me catch up. I got a lot to catch up on. Okay. Oh. 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 Essays. Oh. Oh. All right. Okay. Thank you. I'll read them later. They're not urgent, so I'll read them later. But yeah, for whatever reason, I wasn't getting emails from Patreon, so I appreciate you for letting me know. And if anyone else sends me a message on something and I haven't read it or something, let me know, because I am bad with responding to stuff. It's one of my biggest problems is I've every time I look at my inbox or like any of my, I've got like 10, right? You know, because all the different platforms. And then I see like anything more than like 3 messages, I blue screen, I turn off, and I just close the application, and then I'll check it maybe in like 3 weeks. That's usually, I'm really bad at responding to people. I apologize. So I apologize. But anyway, how's it going, everyone? I got snot dripping out of me. Oh, shit. So. Oh. Respond on Twitter DM. Oh. I'm doing side quests just to get my show started. I don't even know. I don't know if I even have a message from you. Okay. The side quests, they're done. No more side quests. So we got a show going on. Doing a show here. Today I was planning on it. And then I was told I had a fucking message on Patreon. So, but now that that's been handled, we've got another show going on. Let's let's do the show. It's like a reflex. Read the message first. Oh my God! Read the message first. I'll do this after the show. Okay, I promise. No more side quests. No more side quests. Okay. Let's talk about this. So, the United States, it's a government, and it exists. But there's lawmakers, and they make laws in the United States, and they're thinking about this. Lawmakers consider pump relief stimulus. The average price for a regular gallon of gas stood at $4.24 nationally on March 22, according to AAA. Lawmakers are proposing ways to provide some relief at the pump as record high gas prices hit drivers in the wallet. It could come in the form of a stimulus check, similar to the pandemic relief program. That's one idea pitched by House Democrats, according to Fox 59. The Biden administration briefly considered sending out gas cards through the IRS. The average price for a regular gallon of gas stood at $4.24 nationally on March 22, according to AAA. So, okay, here's the problem here. So, one, the last time we got stimulus checks for the pandemic was when the pandemic was like 20% as bad as it is right now. The Omicron surge was like, it was like 5 times as bad as the last time we got money from the government. So the idea that like the pandemic's behind us, I mean, the government of the United States is actively committing a genocide. But that, is besides the fact. Yes, sure, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are working in concert to commit a genocide of the disabled in this country. But, okay, whatever. The House Democrats saying that, we're planning on doing a gas stimulus check. That's not bad when it comes to messaging. That's good. I have to say, that's good. Now, here's the thing. Is this just going to be a blanket stimulus check? Biden administration said that they briefly considered sending out gas cards. Now, see, the reason why I ask this is because I don't have a car, right? So a gas card is useless to me. That said, I'm dealing, with inflation in relation to the gas prices because inflation is hitting everyone everywhere. Food is more expensive. Water is more expensive. Electricity is more expensive. So, I mean, again, it's a good idea to give people money just for gasoline in the short term. But also, what about people that are dealing with inflation in relation to food? Are they going to increase EBT output? Are they going to give us more money with that stuff? I don't know. Probably not, but they should. If food prices have gone up 10 to 15% and food stamps have gone down, but anyway, let's keep reading. Reps Mike Thomas of California. I just want to say, again, the Democrats leading this is good messaging. Because the Republicans are like, the pump, the goddamn pump, they're paying at the pump. And you go to the fucking gas station, and then you see the fucking Biden, I did that, stickers all over the fucking gas pumps. The pump, like, I don't know, man. I don't know what the word pump is. Like, What is with the word? Like, Republicans love the word pump. There's pain at the pump, man. Going at the Americans at the pump. Like, I don't know, man. I'm just saying, it's weird. But also, right, like, again, it's good messaging, right? Because, like, the Republicans usually just, they do 100% of the messaging when it comes to actual real-world issues, and Democrats just ignore every single problem. So the Democrats saying, oh, actually, let's propose a solution to this, that's good, all right? Californians are dealing with the nation's highest gas prices. Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom rolled out a proposal on Wednesday, a plan that could provide a tax break, free rides on public transit, and up to $800 on debit cards to help pay for fuel. The money would go to everyone who has a car registered with the state. For people who don't have cars, Newsom wants the state to pay for their bus or train fare for 3 months. That's good. 2 other proposals depend on profits from oil companies. Wow. That's crazy. Oregon Rep, whoa, they depend on the profits from oil companies. Whoa. Big Oil will pay a one-time 50% windfall profit tax on any adjustable tax. That's actually good. Peter DeFazio proposals call for families to receive a monthly tax credit. The measure would come from a one-time tax on oil companies. I've got a better idea. How about we nationalize the oil companies? How about we say, all right, we'll buy them from all the whatevers, and then gas is $0. How does that sound? Is that okay? I don't know. We couldn't do that, right? And then we give everyone a free electric car. I mean, and you know what that would cost? That would cost like 2% of the annual defense budget. So, pretty affordable. An earlier proposal from Rep. Ro Khanna of California and U.S. Sen. Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island calls for quarterly rebate with money raised by taxing oil companies. I say, shut all the oil companies down, buy all of their bullshit, right? And then do a mass infrastructure overhaul, right? And then give everyone electric cars or hybrids, and then phase out gasoline, But, hey, taxing the oil companies, that's a good idea, too, I guess. A gas card, whatever. Anyway, there you go. I love the comment section on Fox News. Promote exploration and drilling. Problem solved and inflation reduced. Spending more only increases inflation. We have the inflation understander who's logged on. Inflation, by the way, doesn't exist. It's actually just, this is all price gouging. The price of oil has actually been going down, right? They're just gouging you. They're just fucking with you because you're stupid. You, as an American, are a dumb fuck loser moron, and you just accept abuse every single day of your life. You don't do anything about it. Your family doesn't do anything about it. Your coworkers don't do anything about it. Everyone in this country, we're all just constantly being abused, and we just say, all right, hit me harder, daddy. Hit me harder, mommy. That's what this country does, and that's what 1978 Impala is, this guy's been traumatized. This guy's been hit with the fucking ruler a couple times too much. He thinks inflation is a real thing, and it's not the corporations that are the problem. Let's give the corporations more money. Or Biden could just up domestic drilling, and most of us would be further ahead and then another stimulus check for the money tree. What? Like, what does that even mean? Get back to Trump's energy independence. We don't need another stimulus. We don't have these problems under Trump. What? Like, people didn't have to pay money for gasoline under Trump. People didn't have to pay for inflation under Trump, I guess. I mean, I don't know if people didn't have to deal with a pandemic under Trump, apparently. Like, these people are fucking morons. I don't know. I'm just having fun with this. Oh, my. Why not just give $1 million check to every citizen in this country to help this hard time? Why not promise everyone a nice house, 2 cars, and full of paid bills for life? Well, for the simple reason, communism has failed. What the fuck, man? This guy's a legend. Let's see more. Oh, I just wanted to see more in the comment, and I lost everything. Oh, no. Oh, no. Where'd the comment go? Where'd it go? Communism has failed. Oh, here it is. Okay. See more. Okay, there we go. When you give people everything for free, nobody wants to go to work. And if no one goes to work, you have less product being produced. Then everyone ends up with less things. That's what this current administration is aiming towards. They want the U.S. to be a poor country by passing communist laws. Like, imagine this motherfucker somehow able to access a computer. Somehow able to look at this, right? This device here, a keyboard. And they're like, I know how to use this. Somehow they're able to transmit enough information, or maybe they have their nephew or like grandson like type it for them, right? Like ghostwrite it. But, like, my God, imagine thinking the Joe Biden administration is communist. Like, I literally, what? Like, I can't. And then you've got Walter 431. With that kind of money, I could just sit at home and order stuff on Amazon. Problem being, no one would be working at Amazon any longer. These motherfuckers, dude. Like, these are real people, right? Like, these are, like, the Joe Biden administration is going full communism. They're giving everyone $1 million checks. Like, create a problem and then get mad about it. Why not just give everyone $1 million checks? Well, that would be communism. No, goddamn communism, man. This is a... Any politician who votes for spending more on any stimulus and therefore adding to the inflation and deficit needs to be voted out. This is like how capitalism rots your brain. Right? Like Joe Manchin and the fucking corporate goons have somehow managed to convince these stupid fucking morons, right? These everyday hardworking Americans, so-called. These stupid fucking losers. These dumb fucks, man. These stupid fucks have been convinced that, oh, oil companies aren't price gouging you. Food companies aren't price gouging you. All the companies in the whole country aren't basically just getting together in the smoke-filled back room and saying, let's all raise our prices because these stupid fucking morons think that inflation is like some like law of physics, like gravity. It's just supply and demand, the invisible hand. They believe in this stupid fuck religion. So let's take advantage of these dumb motherfuckers, right? Yes. Is there inflation to a small degree? Sure. But the idea that food is going up 15-20%, oil is going up, like gas prices are going up 15-20%. That is not in any way related to supply and demand. This is literally corporate greed. But these dumb fuck Americans, these stupid fuck asshole dumb fuckface Americans are like, oh, don't give me anything for my tax dollars. I'm going to keep gladly paying my tax dollars. In fact, I love that Trump made it so that I pay more money than the rich people because I think it's a good thing that the hardworking Americans have no money and they give all their government money to the government, and I don't want the government to give me anything. I want to give my money to the government, and the government's going to give that money to oil companies, and then they're also going to price gouge me, so I have to pay more for gasoline. That's the ideal American way. Oh yeah, capitalism's so good. Let's go, Brandon. Like, I mean, like, motherfucker, man. These people are fucking stupid. Stupid. These dumb motherfuckers, man. Okay. You see, dams, Biden campaigned on this about his disdain for fossil fuels for oil companies. Now you're in shock. He's actually doing it and saying, oh no, this is not his fault. Doing what? He's actually doing it? What is he doing? Like, in this guy's mind, in Texas heaven 9 hours ago, Texas heaven. What is Texas? In the central time zone, right? So that's an hour ago? So this guy at 1 a.m., this motherfucker at 1 a.m., Texas heaven, posted on Fox News comment sections. In their mind, now you are in shock when he's actually doing it. In their mind, it means something. Like, in their mind, Biden's doing it. Biden's doing it. He's doing it. What is it? It has never been defined. Okay, Biden campaigned on this about his disdain for fossil. So he campaigned that he hated fossil fuel and oil companies. That didn't happen. In fact, he was pro-fracking. It was actually a problem. But okay, so that didn't happen. But let's assume. Okay, so he campaigned on saying he doesn't like oil companies. That, first of all, that'd be based, right? I'd love that. But that didn't happen. But let's say it did. Now you're in shock he's actually doing it. Doing what? Like, what is it? It hasn't been defined. He's doing it? He's hating on oil companies? What does that have to do with the... Like, if Joe Biden going up there and going like, you know what? ExxonMobil, man, they're not that good. No, what does that have to do with supply and demand and the invisible hand and free market cap? Like, I just, like, what? Like, the Texas heaven? They thought they nailed it. 15 upvotes. Let's look at the replies. I'm having too much fun here, by the way. So someone feel free to stop me. This is his fault by design. And we have a bleak road ahead if he does not wise up. And then someone responds, we have a bleak road ahead. Like, okay. Now, I want you... Now, Texas Heaven, this is its own form of stupid motherfucker, okay? Texas Heaven. Wait, what? They have a description here? Upright, self-reliant American who knows how fortunate I am. Oh, my God. I didn't know Fox News had, like, a fucking social media network. Okay, so Texas Heaven, right? They're at 1 a.m. talking about fucking Biden doing it. Biden doing it. Biden's doing it. What it is, I don't know. But notice this. We have D.M. Hawkins, a very intelligent person, right? So Texas Heaven says this is his fault by design, and we have a bleak road ahead if he does not wise up. That's a sentence, you know? And then D.M. Hawkins is like, we have a bleak road ahead. Just copying and pasting, like, the middle of that sentence. Like, I mean, my God, this is some really crazy stuff. It wouldn't surprise me if these were all bots. We need oil, not stimulus. Oh no. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm having way too much fun with this. Someone needs to come and get me. It's clear that the liberal globalist plan is to bankrupt our nation. Bottom line, their plan is to add to a national debt we no longer can support. You know, like Trump did. Trump added more to the national debt than any other president. Okay. Our debt now is greater than our GDP, and it's not by accident, as this proposal proves. We have the natural resources to solve the energy crisis. Not using them and driving us into bankruptcy is treasonous. Time for impeachment and prosecution. This motherfucker! I can't, dude! I can't. Like, you can't convince me that to observe... Does this guy have, like, a fucking bio? Let me see. To observe. No, they don't. You can't convince me this is a real person. Like, there's nothing you can do to convince me that this is a real person. Like, you could sit me down in a room with this guy and we could be drinking a beer and I would be convinced that this is like a robot or like I'm in some like intense like magic mushroom trip and I'm hallucinating the whole thing. Right? There is no way you can convince me that this guy is a real fucking person. Oh my God. Ugh. Cut everyone's income tax by 50%. Stop giving our money to other countries. They're close. I mean, they're close. Oh my God, it's a flagrant attempt to buy votes. Okay. Why is it that Democrats want to give away taxpayer money whenever there's a problem? Just keep in mind, under the Trump administration and stimulus, every American, you know, that qualified for the stimulus, and that's his whole problem. But every American that got stimulus got $1,800 under the Trump administration. Under the Biden administration, they got $1,400. So, the Republicans gave out more money. But, okay. Why is it that the Democrats want to give away taxpayer money whenever there's a problem? It would be better to solve the problem. It looks like the Democrats are using tax money to buy votes, but that would be illegal. Like Newsom wanted to give all taxpayers $400 to offset the price of gas. It should only go to licensed drivers with proof of insurance from the start of this year. Like, what the fuck? Is that like an advertisement? Like, oh my God. It's a flagrant attempt to buy votes. So, the Trump administration giving out more money, that's not buying votes. The Democrats giving out less money is actually buying votes. My God. Oh, this is too fun. There's so, I'm sorry. I didn't mean this to turn into this long of a segment. I'm just having fun. Like, this is really entertaining. Oh. Typical Democratic solution. Print more money. How about just letting our oil companies get back to work? Now, again, what's going on with the oil companies? They've got the permits. They're not drilling because it's not profitable. They know that oil is on the way out, and they are not convinced. Like, first of all, again, they can just price gouge you. I don't know why the website just, like, reloads the entire thing. I lost it. All right, it's gone. But anyway, reminder, Democrats, like, they don't control... The oil companies have the permits. They're choosing not to drill because they'd rather keep the supply low and price gouge you because they make money. Drilling for more oil, you know what that would do? Make them less money. I mean, these people are fucking stupid, man, but these are Americans. I need you to understand, yeah, they're Fox News, right? They're the dumbest of the dumb. Right? Yeah, I'm cherry picking the stupid of the stupid. But this is America. Y'all, I need you to understand. When you go outside... and you're at the grocery store and there's like 12 people in line, statistically speaking, 3 of those people are posting in the Fox News comment section, right? Like, they're dumb. They're Republicans. They're stupid as fuck. Like, I need you to understand, right? Like, America is hell on earth. America is hell on earth, right? Like, these are zombies. These are demons sent from hell. These are fucking zombies that have been resurrected. They've got no brains. They're just fucking walking, talking drones for corporate, interest and capital. That's all they are. Anyway, I just want to say, like, the Democrats doing this is it's a good messaging. I know I totally, I got distracted there. But Democrats doing this, good messaging, they should just do a blanket stimulus. The gas problem, yes, that's a problem. But guess what? There's more to, this whole thing than that. So, just saying. Anyway, I didn't anticipate that lasting half an hour. My apologies. But, But my God, they're just so stupid. Like, these are some dumb fuck motherfuckers, man. Like, fuck! Like, imagine, like, I know, I get stuck on this, but this is where my brain goes. I've got, like, my mental illness, right? Like, my specific combination and concoction of mental illnesses. Like, whenever I see stupid shit, I am obsessed, right? It's like, it's the most interesting thing in the world to me. It's like, every time I see, like, I get a whiff, like... Is someone posting cringe? Like, I'm just like, I'm done. Like, I'm on autopilot. I am just like chemicals reacting to stimuli. I have no awareness. I've got no free will. I'm on the tram lines. I'm just like, oh, someone's posting cringe. Well, there's 30 minutes of my life down the fucking... Oh... My God. On that note, I'm going to do more drugs. I'm glad that the website, like, just turning off and breaking was what got me out of that, by the way. I would have continued going down that. That would have done the whole show on Fox News comments if the website didn't just constantly freeze and break. That's what would have happened. Like, stupidity, it's like going to the zoo, except, like, the zoo is actually bad because it's non-consensual, and, like, it's, like, you're kind of enslaving these animals for human entertainment. But imagine a zoo that's consensual, right? Like, everyone wants to be there, they're enjoying it, they're having fun, and you get to watch. That's America. Like, it's a zoo without all the ethical problems, Like these people, they enjoy being dumb. They enjoy letting everyone know how stupid they are. That's, like, part of the fun for them. And, I say, let's sit back and let's get some popcorn and let's have a good fucking time. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, fuck. Like... Oh, all right. Anyway, so we got through one story. So 30 minutes in, one story, off to a great start. So this is from the Wall Street Journal. So let's see how they spin this one. This is going to be great. As COVID-19 flares anew in Britain, the U.S. watches for a possible new surge. So real quick. Okay. So Delta and Omicron variants have tended to strike Europe before reaching America. Here's what the data show on whether that is likely to happen again. Now, again, the wild type variant as well, came from Europe. Like how we originally got COVID in this country was from European flights. So that's important to understand. But so let's keep going. The recent rise in COVID-19 cases in the UK has U.S. health experts watching closely. Now, again, the White House says we're out of money. Fourth shots are only going to be for certain people. Otherwise, you have to pay for them. The uninsured are now going to have to pay for COVID treatment. The U.S. said, everyone take your mask off. Everyone get back to work. right? The U.S. CDC changed the way that we count COVID deaths and hospitalizations and cases. They changed the way that we count transmission risk. Again, the United States is committing a genocide. That needs to be understood. 1 million people. Personally, the number is going to be more. It's got to be more. I mean, look at excess deaths, right? Like the way the reporting is, and now they're covering up cases and stuff. The data. I don't trust the data anymore. I stopped trusting the data, honestly, when Trump started saying that he wanted to mess with it. Right? Like the data is a number, right? 1 million people dead from COVID. I'm more likely to believe it's like maybe 1.3 million. I would assume, based on everything I've seen, excess deaths, calculations, that stuff, right? There's no contact tracing at all. There's no PPE production. Companies are price gouging. If you want a mask, you have to pay like 5 times what you would pay in like February of 2020 or January of 2020. 10 times something. So I need to say that. I need to underscore that. We are living through a genocide, a historical genocide. This isn't like the 1918 flu. This isn't like, oh, we don't know what's going on. We're not prepared. We don't have the science. We don't have the medicine. We don't have the communications technology to be able to give people information on how to... This isn't the 1918 pandemic. This is everyone on Earth can talk to each other instantly. With this fucking phone, I can call someone in China and they can answer the phone and we can have a real-time fucking conversation. Right? We have experts in the fields of medicine and science that somehow managed to develop these vaccines in record time. Right? We've got the ability, supply chains built to have people stay at home. We've got postal services to deliver products that are necessary. Again, with the homeless problem, right? Like, we've got hotels. We saw during the pandemic, people that were homeless were given shelter in hotels to help reduce COVID transmission. But then they just sent them back on the street, right? So what we are seeing is a purposeful neglect of anyone who would possibly be at risk, right? Again, the CDC is like, oh, good news. Only people with comorbidities will die. Meanwhile, 80% of Americans have a comorbidity. I like, this is like, if you manage to live 30 years in the future, 40 years in the future, right? I know I'm going to be talking about this for the rest of my life, right? I'm going to be 80 years old doing Above It All episode 19,600,903.6. And I'm going to be talking about the fucking great genocide of 2020s. You know, who knows how long this is going to last. Because that's what this should be referred to as. This is a genocide. The COVID-19 genocide. Right? The governments all across the world have collectively decided the immunocompromised don't matter. Fuck them. The elderly don't matter. Look at what China did with Hong Kong and like the current outbreaks going on there. The elderly didn't get vaccinated. They're like, fuck it, whatever. And now with this 4th wave, China has now had the worst outbreak since the pandemic started with this new wave. Right? With Omicron and Delta, that was like what broke Vietnam. All these countries that are like, oh, they were at COVID zero. New Zealand was destroyed by Omicron. Right? But who's dying mostly in China? The elderly. Right? So, again, this is like, who's dying mostly in the United States? Disproportionately, people of color. Why? Because people of color often have to do more service jobs or they're more closely around other people. You know, white people, for example, are more like, hey, look where I'm at. I'm working from home, right? So white people are disproportionately more likely to be able to work from home, to have lower transmission risk. Minorities, people are more likely to be working in fast food service jobs, are more likely to be around other people, which means they disproportionately get COVID, which means they disproportionately die of COVID. And you know what? The government says that's fine. The government's like, oh, the blacks are dying. That's the government. They don't give a fuck. They're actively promoting policies that are going to result in the deaths of significant portions of these populations. The immunocompromised, they're fucked. They're fucked. The CDC, the Biden administration, the Trump administration, they're like, they got together. They're like, all right, how can we kill all the disabled people? Oh, I know. Let's just do nothing about this whole COVID thing. That backfired because guess what? People that get long COVID, they're going to be disabled for the rest of their lives. There's teenagers out there that got COVID in like March of 2020 and they still don't have the ability to taste or smell. That's fucking scary. Healthy, quote unquote, people that are like 16, 17, and now 2 years later they can't taste, they can't smell because they've got long COVID. That's fucking scary. This is all by design. We've had 2 years to prepare for this shit. We've had 2 years to get contact tracing. We've had 2 years to get like extra stimulus funding. We've had 2 years to fund supply chains. We had 2 years to get protective equipment. 2 years to get universal masks. And the best we got is 8 rapid tests. Rapid tests that have like a 50-50 like positive, like, you know, 50-50 what's the rate? Like false positive rate or something, or false negative rate. We got 8 tests. That's what the government gave us. And a vaccine that wanes over time. And not everyone's taking the vaccine. And so the pandemic's not ending. And now they're going to start charging us for the vaccines. So I need people to understand. This is genocide. This is not, oh, what are you going to do? This is not, oh, why did it have to be this way? This is purposeful. This is by design. Now, again, I know it's a little bit of a conspiratorial thing here, and I'm not trying to say, you know, I'm not getting into the plandemic garbage, but what I'm saying is, like, again, the numbers are in. We know how to stop this pandemic. Lockdowns, universal masking, universal vaccination. We know the solution. The antidote is right there. It's like if someone has an allergic reaction and the EpiPen is in their pocket, and you have the EpiPen in your hand, you reach in their pocket, you get it, it's in your hand, and then you do nothing, and then they die. Well, you have the solution. It's right there. You can use it anytime, and you chose not to. Hey, I didn't kill him. I just decided I didn't feel like saving their life, even though it took no effort. That's what this country's doing. Again, Delta variant comes around. Kamala Harris gave this big interview with the LA Times. She was like, no idea. We had no idea. Delta variant totally blindsided us. They didn't see it coming. Kamala Harris, the vice president of the United States, said, the second variant, we had no idea. Totally didn't see it coming. But then the third variant comes, and it's like, again, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you ain't gonna fool me again. Unless you're Kamala Harris. Omicron comes around, she got fooled again. Now we have Omicron 2, BA2. Again, there's no other Greek alphabet letter because the people that name them were like, we don't want to scare people. This is already 1/3 of new cases in the US, by the way. But they don't want to scare people, so we're not gonna call it like fucking Epsilon or whatever the fuck. I don't know what else. The rapid spread of the highly transmissible BA2 Omicron variant and an easing of measures aimed at slowing transmission, such as mask requirements, are causing problems in Europe, according to epidemiologists and physicians. The U.S. has also broadly dropped mitigation measures, and federal authorities estimate BA2 represents about 35% of U.S. cases. Those factors are raising concerns that the U.S. could experience another COVID-19 surge. Fourth wave. Let's strap up. Does anyone want to start placing bets, by the way, on how many fucking surges there's going to be? Because I'm going to place my bets on 69. There's going to be 69 surges. That's my guess. Our experience with Delta and Omicron is that what happens with Europe doesn't stay in Europe, it hits us, said Jay Varma, a physician and epidemiologist who directs Weill Cornell Medicine Center for Pandemic Prevention and Response. As you can tell here, this is supposed to be tracking the UK in black and the US. As you can see, there's usually like a week or two kind of delay, and the numbers aren't identical, right? You know, different countries and all, but the typical trends of the thing you're looking at there. The 7-day average for cases in the U.S. is currently hovering around 31,000, the lowest level since last July. Now again, since last July. Well, let's look at the way COVID data is tracked. Since last July? Well, we know if you do an at-home test, you don't count. And we know that the administration is promoting at-home tests. And we know that the funding for testing and testing facilities has gone down. And we know that, again, there was this quote-unquote mandate, the Biden mandate, that was either get vaccinated or don't. And the don't option is you get tested once a week, right? And that's government funded or whatever, right? That's not happening anymore. People aren't getting tested. They might get sick. They might take an at-home test. So again, I want to be very clear. Since last July, this is not the same formulas being used for the numbers since last July. And I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to feel like I'm getting into like the conspiracy fucking Alex Jones territory, but I'm watching it in real time. Like, we're just looking at what's happening in real fucking time. Like, the CDC announces like 4 times in between last July and now that they're changing how metrics and formulas are working. And then the media isn't reporting that. They're not telling us. Oh, it's just like, oh yeah, it's, comparable to last. Yeah. My God. Case counts in both the US and UK don't reflect the true number of infections, and testing levels have historically been higher in the UK. Well, that's a little bit of a good thing. I just want to say that. That's good. Health experts say the U.S. has faced a significant challenge tracking cases because of its rise in at-home testing, which generally isn't captured in state counts, and some states have dialed back on the frequency of their reporting. Okay, so I'm glad that they actually brought that up a little bit. Whether U.S. cases will start climbing once again following the UK trends remains to be seen, public health experts say. Some factors could help the U.S. avoid widespread surges, including BA2's acceleration in the early spring, when people in cold weather areas such as the Northeast are starting to spend more time outdoors. I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day or Twilight Zone. This is what happened. Remember in 2020, right? March and April. February, March, and April, people are like, oh, the spring's coming, summer. Once summer comes, COVID's going to get burned away. It's going to dry up and disappear. Does anyone remember that? And then there was a surge in the summer because everyone in Florida was going on spring break, bro. We're going to go get wasted. Woo! Right? And they were doing that whole thing. And then everyone got fucked up. Right? And then in California, people are doing like the fucking weird protest, like all the fucking, so cringe. Right? Okay, so that didn't end up happening. So then 2021 comes around, right? And people are like, oh, well, the vaccine's out. People are going to get vaccinated. Summertime. Hot girl summer. Woo! And then Delta variant's like, so about that. But now here we are again. Third time's the charm, right? Maybe this time. Maybe, right? Maybe. Some people are saying, many people are saying that when the spring comes around, COVID's going to go away. It's going to disappear from the warm weather. Hasn't happened yet. But many people are saying. So, I mean, I don't know, man. This. And this also makes no sense because what about countries that are in the other fucking side of the globe where it is summer already, where it is hot already, like in Brazil, for example, right? I mean, these people are just, this conspiracy theory that somehow the warm weather is going to be what kills COVID is like that. It's anti-vax tier. It's the same. It's like, it's Trump QAnon tier. Except that conspiracy theory somehow is able to get into the mainstream media somehow. Like the ivermectin stuff, that's all banned and this should be banned. But maybe the warm weather, bro. Somehow that's not in the same category. It should be. My God, man. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Michelle Walensky said Wednesday that reported COVID cases have declined sharply on the national level, but infections have edged slightly higher. Interesting. in New York State, including in New York City. In the past week, some places in New England have reported that more people in the hospital with COVID-19. She said specifically in areas where the CDC estimates that BA2 now accounts for overall half of cases. This small increase in cases in the Northeast is something that we are closely watching. This small increase in cases. I want to remind everyone, thousands are dying every single day. Statistically, when people get COVID, they might have long COVID. It's a small case. It's a small increase. The downplaying of this shit is reprehensible. It's reprehensible. It's mild. Remember that Omicron's mild. Where did that come from? That came from your boss. That came from the fucking corporations. They told everyone, let's just pretend Omicron's mild. There was literally no scientific evidence. There was no study linked. They made it up out of whole cloth. And then I hear like people in my family say like, well, I heard Omicron's supposed to be more mild, so I'm not that worried. They just made it up. And then 1 million people a day got infected. 3,000 people a day were dying. 9/11 every day. This was just 2 months ago. This was 3 months ago. It started. But 2 months ago it ended. This isn't 10 years ago. This isn't 30 years ago. This is 2 months ago. Are people this stupid? Are Americans this fucking stupid? That 2 months ago has just disappeared from their fucking memories? Like, I mean, I smoke a lot of weed. I'm high right now. So sometimes I deal with short-term memory loss, right? But the idea of just forgetting that 1 million people a day were getting infected and that there was a 9/11 every day in this country for like, I don't know, a month and a half straight, and this was 2 months ago? What the fuck? Like, what? And everyone's just like, oh yeah, it's mild. There are still people that talk about, oh yeah, it's mild. It's mild, bro. Mild as fuck. The less vaccinated population in the U.S. is a potential risk factor. I love that. The less vaccinated. The fucking snowflake fucking crybabies got their like fucking politically correct fucking term. No, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm a less vaccinated population. Okay, sure. This includes people who are eligible for booster shots, which have shown to help protect against severe illness and death. The U.S. experienced higher rates of COVID-19 deaths per 100,000 people compared with the U.K. during the Delta and Omicron surges. Hospitalizations in the two countries haven't followed the same trajectories. Now again, please note that the U.K. typically has a better health system. While hospitalizations have risen in the UK recently, the number of patients requiring ventilators hasn't increased at the same pace. The UK also has a much better rate of vaccination. Counts of newly admitted COVID-19 patients in U.S. hospitals are at their lowest recorded level after any prior surge. The 7-day average for newly admitted confirmed cases slid to 1,836 on Wednesday, down from a record that reached 22,000 in January. A Wall Street Journal analysis of the federal data shows. Now again, keep in mind, the way that data is being tracked, I just don't trust these numbers. I don't. But also, people are likely not to go to the hospital. People, especially if they're uninsured, and COVID funding for people that are uninsured is being reported in the news. Oh, if you're uninsured, don't go to the hospital. I'm just saying, there's a lot of factors here. The prevalence of BA2 in the UK reached 69% for sequence samples from Feb 27 to March 6. While BA2 hasn't been found in a majority of cases in the US, the CDC on Tuesday estimated that the variant has accounted for more than 50% of cases in parts of the Northeast, aka parts that are further up on the timeline, essentially. The Northeast, hub of transport, international transport, right? People fly from New York to London all the time, right? So that kind of stuff. Those states are among many that recently lifted masking mandates. So again, all the restrictions, what little restrictions that there were, because, again, masking mandate doesn't mean you have to wear a mask or go to jail. It should mean that. That's the ideal scenario, but it doesn't. It means, maybe wear a mask, maybe. We'd like you to when you're inside. And then when you go inside a store, everyone's too afraid to tell you to put a mask on because they don't want to be on fucking your Instagram feed, you know, when you, like, fucking go to jail for beating the shit out of someone, right? Like, hey, going into the grocery store, right, you have a greeter, they say hello. Shouldn't they also say, hey, put your mask on? Especially when there's free masks. Like, at the grocery stores that I would go to, there's free masks at the door. People would look at them and laugh and then walk in without a mask on. So, again, these so-called mask mandates, if they're not enforced, they don't mean anything, right? So, I just want to be very clear. The restrictions that we had already, horrible. Horrible. Not even remotely sufficient. Like maybe 2% what we need. And then now we're back down at 0. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, this is all, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. This is fucking crazy. This is crazy that we're still dealing with this. This is crazy. Like, I want to go to concerts. I'm going to go to a restaurant. I want to go to a movie theater without fucking fearing for my life. And then also, like, imagine if I did get COVID because I went to a concert, right? And then I'm going to have to live with the fact that if only I didn't go to that fucking concert, then I'm going to have trauma associated with the fucking concert that I went to, right? So it's like, I mean, I love gambling. I love cryptocurrency. I love gambling. But this is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. This country, this world and this country. My God. Ride the waves, bro. Anyway, so that is I want everyone to be depressed and potentially be dialing into the suicide hotline portion of the show. So let's try to, I don't know. Let's try, like, let's, I don't know, man. Like, let's get into something a little bit more entertaining, I guess, right? Like, let's soften this. Let's soften this a little bit. So, this is some good news coming out of Michigan. Another Michigan city approves psychedelics decriminalization as activists pursue statewide ballot measure. I'd like to remind everyone, there are now, including Hazel Park, a list of cities that you can go to, some in the state of Michigan, where certain experiences are not illegal and you will not go to jail for getting certain medicines. So I'm just throwing that out there. Yet another Michigan city has moved to decriminalize psychedelics like psilocybin and ibogaine as activists continue to pursue a broader statewide policy change to legalize the entheogenic substances through the ballot. The sponsor of the newly enacted local measure gave compelling testimony out of Tuesday's vote, noting that he's personally used psilocybin to treat depression and anxiety. The Hazel Park City Council unanimously approved the resolution, which was supported by Decriminalized Nature Hazel Park and sponsored by Council member Luke Londo. With the body's vote, Hazel Park becomes the third city in Michigan to enact the reform after Ann Arbor and Detroit. The Grand Rapids City Council also approved a resolution last year supporting the decriminalization of a wide range of psychedelics. However, the measure fell short of what activists had hoped in that it doesn't actually change any city enforcement practices and merely expresses support for future reforms. So they still have some work to do, But again, there's a list of cities. You got some right here that you can go to. And once you walk across the magical line, you're allowed to have certain kinds of medicines that you wouldn't in other places if you go on the other side of the magical line. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying. It seems like just yesterday across the state we were discussing whether or not marijuana and THC had legitimate medicinal and therapeutic effects, and now any discussion to the contrary is laughable and flies in the face of mountains of academic research, he told colleagues. So here we are years later with entheogenic plants. Technically they're fungi, but okay. While the substances may be different, the underlying conclusion is the same. The Hazel Park resolution first discusses the therapeutic potential of psychedelics for conditions like post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, end-of-life anxiety, and cluster headaches. It concludes by saying the mayor and the city council hereby declare that it shall be the policy of the city of Hazel Park that the investigation and arrest of persons for planting, cultivating, purchasing, transporting, distributing, engaging in practices with, or possessing entheogenic plants or fungi, or plant compounds, which are on the federal Schedule 1 list, shall be the lowest law enforcement priority. The measure further states that city funds and resources shall not be used in any investigation, detention, arrest, or prosecution arising out of alleged violations of state and federal law regarding the use of entheogenic plants or fungi. The resolution clarifies that it does not authorize commercial sales, consumption, or possession in schools or by minors, or driving while under the influence of substances like psilocybin. Again, you don't want to be driving on mushrooms. I don't even know how to drive, but like the concept, even just in theory, scares the shit out of me. And also, yes, third graders should not be passing around magic mushrooms. No shit. But also, it doesn't authorize commercial sales. Now again, commercial sales? Does that mean you can't sell to a buddy? Hey, I don't know. Look up the law. I'm just saying. Commercial sales. It means you can't start a business based on it. That doesn't mean you can't get ready to start a business. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing this out there. Right? What happened with marijuana, right? Well, in some areas, they started to get decriminalized. People would learn how to grow marijuana. And then all of a sudden, right, the state legalizes it in a way where they only hand out licenses, right, to people that already have proof that you can do it, right? So let's say, I don't know, it's all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden, you can go to these places, these cities, right? You know, I just gave you a list in Michigan. There's more in California, Oregon, the whole state. You can go, you can learn how to produce these things. And then maybe eventually in 5 years, it'll be legal to sell commercially. And by that point, you'll have already figured out how to mass produce them. Hey, I'm just throwing this out there. It's an idea. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing ideas out there. It's the free market of ideas. So there you go. After Ann Arbor decriminalized entheogenic plants and fungi, local lawmakers then declared September Entheogenic Plants and Fungi Awareness Month. The Washtenaw County prosecutor also announced that his office will not be pursuing charges over possessing entheogenic plants and fungi, regardless of the amount at issue. Under the Hazel Park resolution, it says the mayor and council are calling upon the Oakland County prosecuting attorney to do the same. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just throwing some ideas out there. All of this comes as activists with Decriminalized Nature Michigan seek to place an initiative on the statewide November ballot to legalize, now again, note the language here, legalize possessing, cultivating, and sharing psychedelics and set up a system for their therapeutic and spiritual use. Am I suggesting that everyone move to Michigan and vote for this? No. Is that something you could do? If it's an option. I'm just suggesting that to people. Because again, what happened with weed? A couple states are like, all right, we'll legalize it. And then what happened? Now all of a sudden, half the country is like, all right. And it's like, what, 4 years later? 6 years later? So, the first state, Oregon, they just decriminalized everything, right? So that opens the door that says this is possible. Right? Couple more states. Michigan, right? California's got some bills in their state legislature, whatever, for all that too, as well. right? Couple more states, it's a domino effect, right? Every cycle, every 2 years, there's going to be more states that are going to be doing this. And the more that did it the previous cycle, the more they're going to be willing to do it the next cycle. So, the Michigan ballot measure would legalize a range of entheogenic substances for adults 18 and older. Laws currently prohibiting blah, blah, yeah. There's also a sales component with the measure authorizing entities designated by a hospital or psychiatric hospital that has received certificate of need from the State Department of Health and Human Services to cultivate and sell psychedelics to people whose doctors have issued a written recommendation for it. So, what you do is you know a doctor, and you know how to cultivate certain things. Now, am I suggesting people do this? No, but you could, right? And then that doctor's like, all right, you probably could do, mushrooms would probably help you out. So I'm going to let you go, talk to my friend over there. And then, they come into your totally not a store, because it's not a store, you can't sell it, but a building where you grow and, produce things in with the intent to give them to other people. They walk in, they show you the prescription, you have a conversation about rainbows, and then they're off on their day. I mean, I'm just saying, just throwing this out there. So there you go. Good news. Not everything in the world is terrible. Anyway, I got some water I need to drink because I am thirsty. But I don't know where my water bottle is. I dropped it on the floor a little bit ago. And now it might as well have just been erased from existence. The DEA is a terrorist organization. Now, am I saying that, there should be a commune in a location where these things are decriminalized? No. But I am saying it would be pretty cool. All right. We got some more bullshit. I don't even know. Okay, so, this is... I do these things where I make fun of already pre-established bad actors, bad characters. There's nothing profound about this, what I'm about to say. There's nothing, we're not going to be, going into, a complex analysis here. But, I like to keep tabs on these people. It's important to keep tabs on these people because, they pretend to occupy similar spaces that I do. And so I think it's important, to just kind of shine a light on how silly some of these people are. So I got this segment here. That's right. We're in the streamer react portion of the program. So I got this segment here, this clip. This is a clip that was posted on the internet of a Jackson Hinkle. Notice my sidebar, 20 plus notifications. I'm really popular. So this is one Jackson Hinkle. Honestly, this guy, let's be real. Anyone listening to this guy, you know what? I might say it.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
So anyone listening to this guy, pretty fucking stupid. But so I know I'm not moving the needle here, but it's fun to just kind of see what these fucking morons are saying. Because again, this is there's this weird, it honestly is strange. It's leftism is popular enough to where corporate interests, fascists and Nazis want to pretend to be leftists. It's the same thing that happened with Hitler and all that stuff. It's the same thing that happened in the USSR. People are oh yeah, we should do socialism. And then they kind of they're marketing themselves as socialist. Meanwhile, they're not really socialist. They're advocating for some fucked up shit. Anyway, let's watch. What is Jackson Hinkle's take on the invasion of Ukraine?
This was the only thing, and he actually prevented more deaths. As of right now, who knows what's going to happen.
So, off on the start, Putin actually prevented more deaths. That's right. So when you're seeing 10,000 Russian soldiers killed, well, there would have been 12,000 Russian soldiers killed if Putin didn't invade Ukraine. What? To be honest,
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
So we're off to a great start. The invasion of Ukraine, thousands of civilians dead, right? Millions displaced. Homes destroyed, lives ruined. But it would have been more disastrous if the invasion didn't happen. Okay.
This was the only thing, and he actually prevented more deaths. As of right now, who knows what's going to happen. If something crazy fucking happens, that happens, and, we can talk about it when we talk about it. But as of right now, 110% absolutely fucking totally stand with Putin and his decision to launch this special military operation. And actually, this was the
Okay. This is the thing.
Decision to launch this special military operation.
Special military operation. Bro, I can't. In fact, you know what? I won't. Special fucking military fucking operation. Like, this is the guy who markets himself, again, as an anti-imperialist. There are videos, thousands of fucking civilians being injured, murdered. Again, you love Russia, okay. The Russian military, 10,000 deaths in the Russian military. So, let's even say, you're like, oh, but the Russian people, they're great and all that. Russian people, people that got drafted into this war, not so good. Also, the Russian military casualty reports disproportionately minorities, people of color, that are being sent to the front lines as cannon fodder to be killed in this fucking stupid, quote, special military operation. Again, why would anyone take these motherfuckers seriously? This is like if I would have popped on here and said, yep, Saddam Hussein, weapons of mass destruction, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. That guy's got weapons and they're capable of mass destruction. Do you want mass destruction? Do you want mass destruction? Because that guy's weapons, they're capable of it. So we got to go in there and take them out. That's what this guy is saying. It was obvious. Saddam Hussein had so many mass weapons of mass destruction that, like, honestly, I'm shocked that they went in there and they didn't find any because he had so many. So this guy claims to be a leftist, a communist, for the people. He loves workers. When I debated this fucking stupid fucking prissy trust fund baby loser, he wouldn't shut the fuck up about workers. The workers. The workers. What about the workers? The millions of workers in Ukraine that lost their job because of the special military operation, and their whole entire fucking city got bombed, and their fucking place of business got destroyed? What about those workers? Mr. I love fucking workers. What about those fucking workers? You stupid little fucking garbage can man. Again, I can't with this motherfucker. He is an embarrassment. This is like fucking the goddamn like tyrant from Resident Evil. Like, this guy just escapes the fucking laboratory. What the fuck? This trust fund baby loser. When I debated him in November, 3 hours of him not shutting the fuck up about how much he loves workers. Now, he is siding with oligarchs, the richest man in the world, Vladimir Putin, and his oligarch fucking cabal, siding with them over the workers in Russia, where the economy has been tanked. But again, this guy thinks, oh, NATO and West are declaring war on Russia with the sanctions. Okay, but what about the workers in Ukraine? What about the workers in Mariupol that are being bombed? What about the humanitarian workers? What about the hospital workers that are being bombed? What about the people that worked at the grocery store that now don't have a job? Again, what the fuck kind of brain worms do you need to be on to think that this motherfucker, dude. He's a motherfucker. He's a liar. He's a trust fund baby loser. This guy is a loser of the highest variety. Anyone that would ever even pretend for a single second that this guy should be taken seriously after this kind of shit needs to go to fucking clown school. We need to bring back tar and feathering because of people like Jackson Hinkle. These are the kind of motherfuckers that need to have tomatoes thrown at them in the public square. Prevented more deaths. In what universe? And it's, of course, interesting how he doesn't go on to describe that. He quickly changes the subject. Notice how he says it prevents more deaths, and then he gives himself like a get-out-of-jail-free card and stutters a lot. Look.
This was the only thing, and he actually prevented more deaths. As of right now, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, as of right now, as of this moment on March 22nd or 23rd, whenever this is from. As of right now, and anything could change, and then, the sun is in my eyes, and then, the Venus will line up with Saturn and Neptune, and then, the walls will ooze green slime, and then maybe, it wouldn't have been that great of an idea. But anyway, man, I swear to God, I know on my show I talk about stupid, stupid Americans. Americans are stupid. Republicans fucking stupid. Democrats fucking stupid. But independents, people that go like, man, the duopoly, bro, it sucks, bro. I hate the establishment. They're also fucking stupid. Everyone in this shit-fuck country makes me fucking go crazy with their fucking stupid garbage. Like, imagine listening to this motherfucker. Like, I can't. Like, imagine. Oh, the Democratic Party doesn't do what I want them to do, and neither does the Republican Party. I've cracked the code. I figured it out. Everything is so clear now. And that's why I'm supporting Putin's special military operation. Like, what? What? This guy needs to have, like, tomatoes being thrown at him, man. Seriously, like, tar and feather. Like, this guy like the dunk tank at the carnival? This guy needs to go to the dunk tank. Like, this is like class clown shit. And then people are like, oh, wait a second, you actually think that? What? This is embarrassing. This trust fund baby lunatic is supporting a fucking war that is displacing millions of fucking people, mass murdering thousands. Again, even, like, let's assume, okay, fuck Ukraine because he hates Ukraine. Even on the Russian side, the Russian military, tens of thousands of deaths, injuries. Like, there's reported 30,000 injuries in the Russian military. So, the Russian people, the poor and the workers that are being conscripted for this, disproportionately people of color, by the way, that are being sent to the front lines in the Russian special military, right? So, like, there is literally no metric where this makes any sense at all. He's just making it up. Because this guy's a loser. And if you listen to him, if you think he's got a point on anything, you're a loser. You got duped. It's okay, though. In the same way that people who haven't figured out about the duopoly, people that still vote blue no matter who, like, they haven't figured it out, right? They got duped. They got bamboozled, right? Just because you're one layer removed doesn't mean you're perfect. You also got bamboozled. If you thought this guy was anything other than a right-wing, far-right, warmonger, agent provocateur, then you got duped. And that's fine. It's okay. This guy was lying about it for years. He's a trust fund baby lunatic. It's fine to get duped every now and again. It happens. It happens. There's a lot of disinformation out there. But the thing is, when you get duped, you need to realize, how the fuck did that happen? Learn from your mistake and move on. So anyway, this guy's a fucking lunatic. But, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
There was someone arguing in your Discord along the lines of what he was saying. I honestly don't look at my own Discord. If someone is saying that on my Discord, then they're fucking stupid. I don't know. Hello, the Wasting Times professional journalist. The Wasting Times at the Jackson Hinkle division. So I've got another series of segments that I saw one of these, and then a couple other were sent to me when I talked about it. So I don't know what the full context is, and you know, whatever, but I always enjoy poking at the dullards, the goddamn stupid motherfuckers. That's what this show is. This show is let's all laugh at dumb motherfuckers. And then also let's, you know, acknowledge that the world is ending, but like, I'm just like, I can't with that Jackson Hinkle, man. Like, that guy, that's crazy shit right there. That's crazy shit. That is crazy shit. And then there's like, the other thing is like, there's dumb motherfuckers that believe him. There's dumb motherfuckers that go like, yeah, that's a good rant, man. Oh, hell yeah. Woo! You're really telling it how it is. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? It's crazy. Anyway, speaking of crazy. Alright, so, again, I've got, you know, I've got like I'm on the MSNBC payroll. So, you know, I've got people that will do some reporting for me, that will send me some info. I don't do any research into this myself because, you know, I'm the presenter here, right? I just present the talking points from the liberal Democrat Party. I love Democrats. Vote blue no matter who, by the way, and I'm on Team AOC. I love AOC, Team AOC. God bless. So, voting blue over here. But speaking of blue, there's a certain podcaster that has a blue backdrop. That's right, Jimmy Dore. And he was saying, he had some guy on his show and saying some really bizarre stuff about the trans swimmer, Leah Thomas, in response to the massive right-wing outrage against her. And so, is Jimmy Dore standing up for those that are, is he working to fight injustice here in this clip? I don't know. Now, again, I got sent a couple segments of this. I tweeted about this, and a couple people sent me a couple of other clips about this same show. So I don't, you know, I'm not going to do any other research, but, but Jimmy Dore, he loves standing up to injustice, right? He loves working, fighting for the oppressed. So obviously he's going to be, providing a very fierce defense of someone who is under massive national onslaught of harassment, who's been threatened with death by multiple the popular figures, politicians trying to like legislate her out of existence, right? You know, try to showcase, you know, like where she is, like, you know, try to talk about what people should do to her, you know, because she's beating and destroying our precious women. So obviously Jimmy Dore is going to be on her side, Leah Thomas's side, right? Well, let's watch.
All right, guess what's coming up next? We got Russell Simmons, and then the transgender Russell Brand. I said Simmons.
Yes.
And then the transgendered woman who is kicking all the women's asses.
Yes.
It's not even close.
Not even close.
Right on.
Not even close. Finally.
Now notice, by the way, that Jimmy Dore says transgendered. Right? I mean, like, I know he's old, but like, my God, transgendered. Like, that has never been English. Like, people complain about the singular they pronoun. Singular they, at least has been around since the 13th century. Transgendered has never been a word, never will be a word. It is not a verb. Hey everyone, we're going to go down to the supermarket and transgender a couple things. Oh, does anyone want to go to the car wash and transgender the whole thing? That's not how language works. That's not speech. But anyway, minor nitpick.
We have a really strong female swimmer. Finally.
Finally. I'm
Faster.
so proud.
Faster, better,
I mean, more watchable.
taller, stronger,
Yeah.
Perfect woman.
perfect woman. That story's coming up. Over to
So, all right, okay. So not only is this guy shitting on a trans person, right, and using like fucking phrenology tier garbage to harass a trans person, but then also he's just shitting on women in general. Like, so not only is so trans people are 0.6% of the population. Women are like what, like 50.5 or something. I know it's like slightly higher, I think. So he's just saying 51% of the population, fuck them. Why? You know, women and trannies, fuck them. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm sorry. Like, does anyone actually think Jimmy Dore is like on the side of the working class? Like, I really like the side of the poor and oppressed. I've had people describe Jimmy Dore as the modern day Malcolm X. No joke. I've had people come into my chat, come on my show, and tell me that this guy is the modern day Malcolm X. Are you fucking kidding me? Now again, I got a couple of other clips here too. So, let's go to this one.
like you have a phobia. That's a mental condition, and they keep putting it on. If someone says something they don't like, they call it phobic.
So I know many trans people, none of whom talk like this or say anything. It's like a very...
Now, I don't know what talk like this means. I don't know what that means. Talk like this. I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what that means, but,
specific small group of like activists that get like funding or something. It's not like actual people.
So, okay. So, I have a black friend. So that's why when I talk about how black people shouldn't be allowed in sports because they're more naturally athletic and they've got higher testosterone levels. Oh, I'm not racist. That's not racist stereotypes or phrenology. It's not. No. I've got a black friend. What? I'm sorry, but like, I've got a trans friend, and so when I brutally attack transgender people, it's actually okay because my trans friend doesn't talk like the other transes. My trans friend's the good tran. What? So anyway, Ravana has a thread here. You know, these are some of the top comments on the video. You know, this is a so-called left-wing person, by the way, who tries to fight for the oppressed. So, and here's another clip.
Play a much inferior... Now, the reason why women play a much inferior game of basketball than men do, it's much slower, dumber, and boring. than a male's basketball game. Now, the reason.
So that's interesting. So women's sports are under attack by the transes, who got 9th place, by the way. Getting 9th place equals the world's on fire. It's nuclear war. Everything's going to explode because the trans person got 9th place. It's over. So the women's sports are under attack, but also women's sports suck. Okay. So here we have another clip here. This is from the Matt Dimitri on Twitter, who loves to clip Jimmy Dore out of context. Of course, the Matt Dimitri is he works with MSNBC with me. We're both contracted by the Democrat Party, the Demon Rat Party, even. And again, honestly, I've also got to say, I had a couple texts from my contacts at Blue Cross Blue Shield. And so they were telling me, like, whoa, this guy, you got to really get into him because he's bad for business. So again, this is the fighter for the oppressed. Just kind of like blatantly lying, but.
And so I'm guessing, I'm guessing in swimming, I wonder what the body difference has to do, right? With
it's height. Somebody told me it's height.
You
There's
think
a lot to do with it?
So on the outset, Jimmy Dore is saying, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I've got no idea. I know nothing. Let's start the segment by saying, I know nothing, but here, I know nothing. Now let's launch into some conspiracies.
Why wouldn't women be able to swim just as fast as men? Is it got to do with the way their body is shaped? Is it because their hips are bigger too, and that slows them down? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why are they so much slower than men is my question. Even with 2 years of hormone therapy, can't even come close.
So,
what does that even mean? Okay, so a trans woman is 2 years in on hormones and is scoring worse than men. Doesn't that make sense? When you're on hormones, your body changes, right? So if men and their physiology somehow are better at swimming, and someone who transitions and is on hormones is not able to compete with men, wouldn't that make sense? I don't understand. Like, what? Like, I'm sorry, man. Like,
in the 1,650-yard freestyle in particular, she was 38 seconds.
People cheat to just get 1 or 2 seconds on the competition, like a fraction of a second.
So, these people, again, they don't know what they're talking about. So, Leah Thomas won a race at one point. So, trans people aren't allowed to win. Leah Thomas has lost races. So, when Leah Thomas loses, right, it's, oh, she sucks so bad that she has to compete with women just to... But when she wins, it's, she has male. Like, it's like she just won a random race, and then it was reported that, like, she destroyed the record. This isn't like a record. This is just a race. Like, this is a random race, a 15-minute race, randomly, just one out of multiple. If you're a professional, if you're like swimming as a sport and that's your like career choice, you're going to be doing a lot of races. You're going to be doing a lot of, but you win one time and all of a sudden you're a crazy masculine like ogre. When you lose, oh, it's because you suck. Like, again, it's a lose-lose situation for trans people here. And also, like, people cheat just to win by 1 second. What? So they're conflating like breaking a record with just winning a random race? Like, what the fuck? These people are, like, I don't know, man. Like, but people, like, I have people say, oh, I'm lefty. Yeah, I listen to Jimmy Dore. No, you don't. Like, one of those things, like, unless you're, like, clip farming Jimmy Dore just to, like, make fun of him, right? You either choose. You have to choose, oh, I'm a left-winger, or I listen to Jimmy Dore. Those are the choices. You can't have both.
Like, if people cheat to get that.
She was 38 seconds ahead of teammates Anna Kaldazzi, who finished second.
Anna is between a rock and a hard place. What is she going to
What is
say
she
about
go-
this?
We're going to find out. Right-wing media outlets have shared video of Thomas winning the race on social media. No one else has done that?
Is Thomas a right-wing media outlet? I'm sure she shared her.
So, I don't know, man. Like, these people are fucking cringe. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's... Like, they just lie. It's embarrassing lying. Like, it's one thing if you're lying as a way to, like if you want to lie and say that, like, you know, Joe Biden's like a demon from hell, but, like, you know, you don't like Joe Biden, at least he's in power. You know, I mean, whatever, like, it's less relevant when you do that. But this is just, like, picking on people that are already being picked on by everyone. I've gotten death threats, a national hate campaign, being stalked, doxxed, just for trying to live her life. And you're gonna just hop in on that? Like, bro, I mean, that's just embarrassing. Like, these people are embarrassing. Like, they're, like, 60-year-old, like, fucking, like, loser, has-been morons that are spending all their fucking time and energy harassing, like, young minorities. Like, that's weird. That's weird. That's not what normal people do. Normal people don't do that. Normal people talk about, like, things like, what album have you been listening to? Normal people go like, oh, what kind of TV have you been watching? Normal people go like, oh, are you excited for the, you know, whatever event? Normal people don't obsess over the physiology of a fucking random swimmer. That's not what normal people fucking do. That's weird, man. That's fucking weird. That's weird. I don't know what to say. If that's something you're into, like if you watch Jimmy Dore and you go like, oh man, I love when he harasses minorities. That's weird. That's fucking strange. Oh, my favorite part's when Jimmy Dore harasses the minorities. Ah, lol. That's fucking weird, man. I don't know what to say. That's fucking strange. I would suggest therapy. I would suggest a lot of things, and you can start with therapy. But, like, I mean, once again, I mean, it's hard to come up with any other analysis, but...
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
Anyway. God, could you imagine a Michael Brooks, Jimmy Dore, Malcolm X? Oh, that is such goddamn rip. That would have been incredible. But yeah, I mean, I swear to God, I've gotten that comment multiple times. Like, I post, like, I've gotten that multiple times over the last couple of years that Jimmy Dore is Malcolm X. Like, wow, man. Like, my God, right? Like, wow. That's some incredible stuff. That is some incredible stuff. I really... Yeah, Dore and his wife hated the teachers' union and teachers. Good for her, Rielon. Anyway, that's the program. You may notice that I'm kind of like slouching here. Just chilling. I haven't eaten yet today, so I'm excited to go ahead and do that. That's going to be something I'm planning on doing very soon. Again, y'all, I want to remind everyone that there's going to be an announcement very soon. And I'm going to be adding more programs. I'm going to be I'm gonna, there's gonna be a lot, and, there's gonna be more programs. I love how Andrea doesn't sugarcoat shit. More people should be like that. I'm anti-sugar. I think sugar is one of the most dangerous drugs on the planet. Andrea, what are you going to eat? Now, that's a good question. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'll let you know if you ask me tomorrow. If I remember. I don't know if I remember what I ate yesterday, so it's... Wait. I do remember. Okay. But anyway, that's the show. So if anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, once again, I mean, it's an option, right? Like, you're allowed. If you want to give me money, it's a good idea. If you want to support this program, if you want to support my other programs that are in development, asterisk. I got lots of stuff. There's like a pipeline, right? And lots of stuff is in the pipeline. And it's coming. What did I eat yesterday? I don't know. I have no idea. I had popcorn, but that was like last night. I was watching some stuff and eating popcorn. But as far as like what I had for like actual a meal yesterday, I don't know. I can't tell you. I have no idea. But it was good. That I do know. It was good, but I don't know what it was. I have no idea. I can always use cooking tips. I'm the cook here at home. Well, there you go. But yeah, so I want to try to have things in April to be in a spot, or I want to try to like, energize the production here in the Above It All studios. The Above It All Industry Studio Broadcast Incorporated studio. And, I hope I'm aspiring to create some other kinds of stuff that people would want to share. Again, only 5% of Americans eat vegetables on a daily basis. 5% of Americans eat vegetables on a daily basis. Like, what's the percentage of Americans that brush their teeth on a daily basis? Let me just look this up. %70 of Americans brush their teeth every day. That's actually higher than I would have expected. But 5% of Americans eat enough vegetables every day. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Does anyone know how fucking crazy that is? So anyway, I try to eat at least 30 grams of fiber every day. Sometimes I go for 50. And I got lots of tips and tricks. So not only do I have tips, but I also have tricks. Anyway, Andrea will be doing a vegan show with me. She has a lot to teach. Yeah, just give me a date, pretty much, and I'll put it on my non-existent calendar that I should make so that I can remember when that is and I don't forget. But yes, if you'd like to support the program and others, I would appreciate it. You know, I could do something like outtakes on the Patreon. Would anyone want like, because some of the programs I'm going to be doing are going to be more edited, so I could do outtakes. Would anyone want like I don't know, Patreon outtake? When I take them out. And then there you go. I don't know. That's it. That's the show. That's all I got. That's it. It's over. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
Not good. Believe me, not good.
But the real problem is that our leaders are dumb. Dumb. So dumb.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
I liked beer. I still like beer. But I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out. And I never.
So today, on behalf of the United States, I want to thank every Olympian and Paralympian. And that was just incredible. And what happened with the Paralympics was so incredible and so inspiring to me. And I watched. It's a little tough to watch too much, but I watched as much as I could.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear word.
Go, Brandon. I agree.